You can just even grab a 1.5 liter bottle, very easy. Use it as your weights if you don't have actual weights that you can use, and follow the workouts as much as you can. So today, we're going to start off with a hamstring workout. All right, now don't forget, your hamstring is the muscle at the back of your thighs. And these muscles tend to need a lot of exercise as well and should not be ignored. All right, now with this workout, and I'll move to the side just to show you, it's very easy to do it wrong. If you do it wrong, you might damage or, hurt your lower back. So instead, what you want to do is, as you reach down, you want to reach down towards your ankle. Here you go, all the way down. Make sure you're pushing out your butt. So it's almost like you're sticking it out, okay? You touch, and then you come back up. Now, if you do it well, when you're coming up, you'll actually feel your muscles in your butt move. So here we go. We're doing 12 of this. 1, 2, chest out, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. 11, 12. And that was very easy, wasn't it? Okay, now let's move on to our next one, and this one's going to be for our lats. What did you say the full name was?
Latissimus dorsi.
Latissimus dorsi. Yep. We like to call them lats because latissimus dorsi is just long. It's plenty English. So with this one, it's very easy. Put your waist together in front of you. I call this the full moon. All right. What you want to do is bring your weights up here, click, come back down. So that's 1. We're doing 12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, chest out, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's the full moon. We still hold the stance and we do what we call the half moon. It means one hand remains in position whilst the other continues the workout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, now we go with the other hand. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Super. Still holding the weights. We're going to go into jumping jacks, all right? Now, we acknowledge that not all of you may have strong knees, so Kweku will do the actual jumping jack, and I'll do a modified version for those of you who may not be able to do it. So here we go. You ready?
Yep.
All right, so let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Here we go. All right, so that was pretty easy. Now we can go on to try a few other workouts. So you can put your dumbbells down, and then we can try what we call the crabs.
Yes.
Right? The crabs. All right. So you go down like this. You can actually sit on the ground. Now, your hands or your palms placed firmly on the ground. You're going to lift your butt off the ground and then balance such that your right hand can meet your left foot. So we'll demonstrate like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the demonstration. Now we're going to do 12 of that as well. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
So we're doing, like, we count.
Every time you're
After 2 touches is 1.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Let's try it. Here we go.
Let's go.
1. Okay. You're going to count.
2.
Here we go.
3. 4. 5. 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Woo! That was great.
That's a burn.
It really is. So workouts like this, like I said, will allow you to burn a lot of carbs, energy, whilst you sit at home.
Yeah.
Anyone else we can do? Perhaps.
Yeah.
We can try a push-up.
Okay.
Everybody's least favorite. So you do the regular push-up.
Okay.
I'll do the modified version, obviously,
Show
for
them how they need.
our viewers. All right. So for women, for instance, you can do cross the legs at your back, because you may not be able to do, and show us what a regular push-up looks like.
So with the regular, your back has got to be straight. Arms outstretched out, and then shift slightly forward so that your chest
Thumbs
is directly over
There you go.
your arms. And then tuck in your butt, tuck in your tummy, and then make sure that when you drop your chest, you're going parallel to the ground.
There you go.
And then up.
All right. Now, if you look at, he was to come all the way to the ground, his thumbs would enter his armpits, and that's the correct positioning for a push-up. All right. So I'll do the modified version for women, and that's also pretty much the same. You cross your legs, you come onto your legs like that. Once again, your palms under your chest, and then we go for 12. Right?
Okay, let's do that.
Here we go.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Whoop, whoop. Nice one there. So there you have it. An easy to do push-up, gets your heart rate up, and of course helps you raise your weights together like that, and keep your elbows as close to your head as possible, and you stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. There you go. Since we're on the ground, we might as well also try a little ab workout. Okay. How about that? Best ab workout you would find, which will work out not just your abs, but everything else, is a plank.
Oh yeah, one of those.
So maybe we'll end today's session with a plank.
Yeah.
I'll need someone to time us down here.
Yeah.
1 minute.
Let's do a minute.
Let's try it.
Let's do a minute.
So once again, with the plank, your elbows should be in line with your shoulders, and then you hold your body up for as long as you can. You'll start to shake, but keep it going, all right? So let's try this. Someone timing? 1 minute on the clock. So spread out your hands properly, and then if you're ready, let's go.
Ready.
Now you want to keep your head up. There you go. This feels like 5 hours.
I know, right? Are you guys feeling the burn yet at home? Keep going.
Now I'm starting to shake. Does anybody know how long this has been?
I think the worst part of this is not knowing where you are in terms of the time.
Alrighty.
Yeah, we're close.
So when you're doing a plank and you get tired, you can actually bring your knees down for a few seconds and then go back up. All right, but I guess we're about a minute. So that's how we end today's workout. It's been great. It's been great. So keep exercising, keep moving around. It's very important, especially for those of you who do not want to gain weight or just really want to keep your heart active, your blood pumping during this period. Don't just sit at home and watch TV. I mean, watch City TV.
Yeah.
But whilst you do that, you can actually still be working out, all right? Don't forget, you can actually send us WhatsApp videos of your workouts that you do along with us, and the WhatsApp number is?
It's 0550-585832. And who knows, we feature you in one of our videos.
Absolutely. So you have a super, super day.
Yeah, and don't forget to stay hydrated. Water, very important.
Yeah, where's my bottle? Bye.
All right.
So there you have it. You know, some nice ways to keep your heart pounding and your heart happy. How was the experience like for you?
Well, as you know, I mean, I like every time I work out, it's a fun experience for me. I think that working out, it's important to understand the psychology of working out. It does a number of things for you. So apart from your body getting fit and staying fit and, you know, but then there's also the psychology of it, because what happens is that when you work out, you release certain hormones in your body, and which actually make you feel better even in your mind, you know, and so on. So it's important to work out. And so it's interesting, you know, to see people, so many people. I have not seen these numbers, you know, out there till this lockdown time, that people are out there working out and all that. But it actually psychologically helps you as well. So it's not just a physical thing, but mentally, working out is also good for you, you know, because of the hormones that are released in your brain that help you to de-stress. Relax, and then also have a certain sense of structure and focus. All of that happens when you work out. So the exercise bit of it, in terms of fitness, is good for your heart to at least 3 times a week for about 30 minutes every time, to push your heart rate between 150 and 180 beats, you know, per minute. It's important. What it does for you is to allow your heart to actually function better when you're at rest, which is what you'll do most of the time anyway. Okay, so if you don't work out, then what happens is that you put your heart constantly under stress, you know, over a long period. So what you do is the workout is you give your heart the chance to build stronger muscles, to flush out, you know, pumping through the pipes of your body, so your arteries, capillaries, and so on. You let the blood flow through. You know, some people, there's a point where you can get to, at a certain age, you realize that the blood doesn't flow all the way to the extremities. People start to get, you know, like when the weather gets cold, they start to have, you know, cold in their fingers and cold. The blood is not flowing all the way, and it happens with age, right? But what you do when you exercise is to reverse that process. You're forcing the blood to go all the way to the extremities, okay, which is actually good for your body, you know, and so on. So there's a whole lot of things that we can talk about there, but you know, this is a little bit with lockdown with Jess. And
what I like about this is the fact that, you know, a lot of us are beginning to think that working out is just running around. People just running. But there's more to it than running around, right? You can do different things with weights. If you don't have some at home, you can just take an empty bottle, fill it with sand, and practice. You don't necessarily have to even leave your bedroom or your living room to keep your heart healthy. And the reason why it's important for us to all work out is because we need our immune system to be strong. There's no cure for coronavirus, but if your immune system is strong, then you'll be able to beat it if you even come out positive. Right? You've heard stories of people who have survived it because they had a strong immunity. So in addition to working out, don't go back to eating carbs on carbs, because then there's no point. You don't want to stress out, you know, burn all these calories. Then you're stuffing your face with bread and soda and sleeping on the couch watching TV for like 5 days to celebrate, like a friend of mine, Michael Obodu, does all the time. That's not what to do. You want to take your vegetables, take your fruits, and make sure that you're healthy. It has to be a holistic approach, right? Because this guy I'm talking about, he does it all the time. Like, he'll work out on a Sunday for 15 minutes.
Okay.
Literally.
Yeah.
His heart doesn't even move. He doesn't even break a sweat. Then he'll take a picture. He's like, if I worked out. Next thing I know, he's eating bread, drinking soda. And I'm like, Michael, what are you doing? He's like, I'm celebrating. That's what not to
the
do.
Little achievements.
Yes.
That's
how we celebrate. How should we celebrate when you finally do your 30 minutes?
Well, I think that the important thing to remember is calories are the things that you're trying to bust, really. So the fewer the calories you take, and the better it is for you in terms of your weight management goals. Okay, so there are lots of fruit drinks, lots of things that you can eat that don't have as many calories as other things. Okay, so it's important, okay, to remember you have to do the selection, make your choice, go through. If you Google it, you'll find it. Everything that you every possible food item out there, there's a caloric amount that is available. You can find it online. So
make it work. Now, one of the things that I find refreshing with this whole coronavirus season is we've opened a world of inventors and innovators within Ghana. Because we are not importing all kinds of things into the country anymore. Our local people, our entrepreneurs, our researchers, our scientists are now able to actually create things that are unique to our reality. And long before coronavirus, we had Veronica Bekoe. Bekoe.
Yes, Veronica Bekoe.
The founder of Veronica Buckets, right? And I think her story is inspiring. We had her here on Breakfast Daily.
Yes, a few weeks ago.
And hopefully, more of us will begin to find solutions to a lot of the problems we see around us, so that when this whole corona thing is over, we'll be able to actually bring out more local inventions and innovations.
I think it's important. Well,
we had a conversation with her a couple of weeks ago. So after the break, we'll be taking a look at it. We'll go for a break and then hear from Veronica Bekoe, the founder of Veronica Buckets.
Extra minutes and extra unlimited calls. Not just that, even our extra data doesn't expire. Simply dial *111# to bundle now. Airtel Tigo. Life is simple.
Breakfast Daily on CCTV. Now, every Friday, we talk to a personality who has lived a life of service, and today is a very special day. A few weeks ago, Ghana Health Service came out to say Ghanaians should wash their hands with running water. And a lot of us were wondering exactly how millions of households would achieve that when they don't have access to running water. Now, we have a biological scientist in this country who has spent her entire life creating and designing a product that not only saved lives in Ghana, but West Africa as a whole. So today's interview is not just any regular personality profile, but we are celebrating one of our own, talking about Veronica Bekoe. She's the woman behind the Veronica Buckets. All all week long when you go to supermarkets, shopping malls, you see these buckets with a tap at the bottom, and you're wondering, where did these buckets come from? Most of us remember seeing them in schools and hospitals, but now they are all over the country. We're so proud of her. And if you have any questions for her, let us know with the hashtag Breakfast Daily and the WhatsApp line 0550-585-832. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome.
So we'll talk about the Veronica buckets, but we want to learn about your life. What was your childhood like? Why did you decide to do science in school when you went to university?
Well, my childhood was quite interesting. I liked learning, and especially the sciences. So I knew, and my parents knew right from the beginning that I would do science, so which I pursued from secondary school right through to university. Ended up at the University of Science and Technology with a Bachelor of Science honors degree in biology.
What did you like about science?
I'm a curious person. I like to understand things. Maybe that was what motivated me to do science. I like nature too. That was why I chose biology. Okay. I know I could handle maths all right, but I didn't excel in maths. So the little maths I knew supported me to do the biology. And I like drawing nature. So I think that was what motivated me.
So once you were done with school, what was life like? What was your first job like?
My first job, I was posted to the Ministry of Health, and I was sent to Kolebu, the public health laboratory.
Okay.
And the public health laboratory then was a small laboratory. I don't know whether you know the old medical school mortuary in the corner somewhere, where all the diseases of public health interest, like the choleras, the TBs, diarrhea diseases, HIV came later, were being taken care of. So that was where I was posted.
Were you not afraid?
No, not really.
Why not? I mean,
because by nature, I'm very careful about what I do. So I wasn't afraid. I went boldly into it. And I was with the public health laboratory for over 40 years, dealing with diseases of public health interest. And in 1986, at the advent of HIV, the head of department selected about 8 of us to be trained to handle the testing for HIV. And you'll be surprised I was the only one left to handle HIV
Why did the rest of them go?
Well, fizzled out. It's a long story.
What kept you there?
I liked what I was doing. I was motivated to do what I was doing, so I enjoyed it. And, you know, although I wasn't a trained teacher, I like teaching people the little I know. So maybe that was what kept me there.
Now, what's the story behind the Veronica buckets?
The story behind the Veronica buckets is that at a point, somewhere early 1990s, USAID decided to help Ghana restructure their public health laboratories. So they sent a laboratory advisor in to assess the situation on the ground. Well, when it was a lady, one Dr. Joan Hetrick. She passed on about 2 years ago, may she rest in peace. When she came, she realized that, like I said, it was only that small structure in the corner that represented public health laboratory in the whole of Ghana.
Not just Accra?
No, Ghana.
Wow.
So I think she talked to her people that they needed to do something. So initially she wasn't supposed to put up any structures, but she managed to get them to put up 4 public health laboratories.
Wow.
But before then, we had to do baseline assessment of all the labs. You know, not all, but selected labs, at least in all the regions, to find out exactly what the situation was like. And you know the story. I mean, most institutions didn't have running water. We restricted ourselves to the labs, and you had no idea what people were doing with hand washing. People either neglected it totally. People were using bowls of water in the laboratory.
Where the water would just be in the bowl.
People were using maybe a bucket and a cup to fetch the water. So you can imagine what we exposed ourselves into. I can say that it was a divine intervention. When the lady came, she decided we had to do some training. After the baseline assessment, we had to do some training. And that included infection prevention. So she gave me the responsibility of taking that on, to go around the country with her to teach infection prevention. So, you know, as we were going around, it just clicked. And like I said, it was a divine intervention. Then the women had started using that, the aluminum container to sell porridge. So I said, wow, if you fit a tap to this container, it can provide running water. Because during the research for me to be able to handle the training, I realized that proper hand washing was the most important form of infection prevention. So I sold the idea to her, and she said, yes, it's true. If you wash your hands well, no matter what you touch, you are almost 100% safe. So she bought into it, and I made I had a prototype made with the aluminum container and a tap fitted. So as we went around the regions, that was what I used to provide running water for people to wash hands. So in actual fact, it was the laboratory, which started, all the laboratories in Ghana, we started using this
because
type
they
of
lacked
container.
access to running water.
And that was our objective, to provide running water for safe hand washing in the laboratories.
And what were some of the reactions you got from the people within the laboratory?
Oh, they were very happy. They were very happy because we made it obvious to them that they were exposing themselves to a lot of infection, especially those of us who were dealing with infectious diseases. So, it caught on. And almost everywhere. Well, in laboratory training, we don't only restrict ourselves to the lab personnel, especially with HIV. There were nurses, secretaries, anybody, who helped in the fight for HIV. So eventually, the hospitals and the clinics realized that they would also need these buckets. So that was how it caught on to the institutions, the hospitals and the clinics. And you know what is happening now. It's even in restaurants, homes, supermarkets, all over. So that is the story of Veronica Bekoe.
How did this, now we're looking at it as a very simple, efficient invention, contribute to reducing cholera cases and other things, diseases that we were dealing with and didn't know how to solve the problem?
Yes, what like I mentioned earlier, hand washing is the single most effective form of infection prevention if you do it and do it properly. And in hand washing, it's interesting how people wash their hands. Apart from the time spent, some people just wash the fingertips. So we had to go in to teach how to wash your hands. If you wash your hands, whatever you have on your hands, 99.9% of them are cleared. Seriously. And you have to do it frequently. You see, that's
go ahead.
That's coupled with maybe wearing gloves and other things. But maybe if as we go along, we'll talk about the gloving.
Oh, please go ahead.
Okay. Yes, it's okay to wear gloves. But sometimes I see it as a false security in that some people don't use the gloves properly. And they don't change them often enough.
So a lot of people are walking around now with gloves the whole day.
Things,
is there anything wrong with that?
There's everything wrong with that because they are wearing this pair of gloves, touching everything and everybody, and sometimes you see that the gloves are even wet. Once you have wet gloves on your hands, anything can seep through. So it's false security. Wear the gloves if you have to. There are situations where you have to wear gloves, but for goodness sake, change them frequently. And if you are not using them properly, it's better. Get rid of the gloves and wash your hands frequently with soap and running water. Formerly, like I said, people were just using bowls. At best, you can see 2 bowls, one for the washing and one for
getting the soap out.
But remember, it's only safe for only the very first person who washes their hands. All the other people are taking whatever is in the water on their hands.
How difficult was it to change people's mindset about only washing their hands when they see something dirty on their hands, or even only washing their hands after they are done eating?
Well, those of us in the lab, we know that there are things you cannot see with a naked eye. So it was okay. But I think with time, people really appreciated that they needed to wash their hands. With some of us, you see, after a period, you just feel like washing your hands. Maybe it's the mindset, the sort of things you have been handling. So gradually, with training, although I can't say that we succeeded 100%, with training and a lot of talking, people bought into it, and they accepted that they needed to wash their hands frequently and with running water, not just washing hands, running water, and to spend a little time doing it and doing it properly.
Okay, now it's Women's Month. We've been talking a lot about STEM education for young girls. And when we talk about STEM in general in the world, there's this school of thought that Africa is just a recipient. We take what has been invented or innovated elsewhere. We don't necessarily contribute to the invention. Now, something like the Veronica bucket, someone in the developed world won't think of it because they don't have the running water issue. How important is it for young people, not just scientists, to begin looking at our problems critically and thinking of locally grown solutions for those problems?
We have to think through what we have and really find ways and means of helping. I said, what motivated me to come up with this was what I saw in the system. And I felt that we those of us in the health sector were rather killing ourselves than taking care of the patients. So I think if you look critically at what you have and find ways and means, maybe you can improve the situation we have. We shouldn't be always content with what we have. We should be motivated to move ahead, move forward, to do something better for ourselves and wherever we find ourselves.
Now, the Vice President in particular is known for all things digital, and in our generation, when you hear of innovation, we are always thinking of applications, app on mobile phones, app here, app there. What's your definition of innovation?
Very simple, basic things you can put together to come up with something, not necessarily going digital. Like this example we have here. Before these big tanks came up for storing water, this was in existence. Yeah. I don't know whether this was what motivated people to come up with the big tanks to fix a tap to provide running water. So maybe when we look around and we look around critically, we can make use of the very basic things we have around us all the time to do something, add value to whatever we have.
What drives you?
Drives me to help Mother Ghana and the world at large. I like helping. I like doing some things for people, something that will inspire people to move ahead, something that will make people feel better. That's my motivation. I like everybody around me to feel good. That is my motivation.
Now, you've been celebrated all over the world. The United States of America Embassy gave you the Heroes Award for Outstanding Leadership and Support for the SLMTA SL IPTA program. I'm sure you tell us what it is. The
Yes.
First Lady of Ghana recently awarded you for your work. How do you feel when people recognize the life of service that you've lived?
I'm inspired to do more, and I thank God for how far He has brought me. Because when I was active in the lab, what I kept telling people, especially those who come straight from school, I tell them, look, I was like you when I started, but with hard work, perseverance, you can get to where I am. I didn't get to my position, like it happened with a magic. I had to work hard. So I motivate people to work hard. Yeah, there was a lot of fighting. If you ask the lab
Walk
people,
us through some of the challenges you faced, because everyone sees the success.
Yes.
What were some of the difficult?
Oh yes,
experiences?
I'm sure most of the lab people I work with would say that I was a difficult person. It's
Why?
true, yes, because I always like to make people work, and I wasn't bossy. I enjoyed teamwork. Whatever had to be done, I got involved. So they got motivated by that. And it was afterwards that they told me that, you don't know, we were fighting all the time, but we knew that you were doing something good for us. So I like teamwork. Work with people. Don't be bossy. But whatever little you know, try to spread it out so other people too can benefit from it. So when I get such awards, that it makes me feel good, but it makes me feel that, well, somebody has recognized what I'm trying to do for others. Mm-hmm. So it motivates me to move on.
What advice would you give young girls about engaging proactively with opportunities within the STEM space?
Everybody has a chance. And there are lots and lots of opportunities out there. It depends on you, the individual. Mm-hmm. You should strive to aim high. You see, don't think because you are down there or you are new, it's somebody's business. Always make it your business to contribute your quota. Work with your people. Don't think, well, nobody will notice if I'm not doing my bit. Everybody is important. In the hospitals, for example, from the laborer, from the doctor right down to the orderly, everybody is important. So we all have to play our role and play it very well.
Now, you've lived through cholera, HIV issues. Now we have coronavirus. Mm-hmm. What advice would you give us on not just passively waiting for the pandemic to take over, but being proactive the way China has been proactive to a point where they've not even recorded any local case recently? What should Ghana do?
Well, we should step up our personal hygiene. Every individual should make it a responsibility to step up our personal hygiene. We have to obey all the instructions given by the government, keep our distances. I'm sure people are angry that schools and churches have been closed, but it's for our own good. So every individual has the responsibility to play his or her part so that we'll be able to control this coronavirus. Most importantly, step up your personal hygiene. People cough openly, they don't care or mind where they are or who is around. People go about hours without washing their hands. I will advise, whenever you go out and come in, please wash your hands. Even if you use your own car, you open your door, you open your car door, you open your office door. When you get to a place where water is available, wash your hands with running water. Yes, the sanitizers are good. You can use the sanitizers when you don't have access to running water. But if you do, wash your hands and then maybe apply the sanitizer.
Okay, now for all our viewers watching who may still not have access to the original Veronica bucket, where do we get them?
Well, this is interesting. I produce and sell, but I'm sure you've seen various versions all over.
Well, we want the original Veronica
Okay,
bucket.
so if you contact me on my telephone number 0244 373431, I can help you out.
0244
373431.
I actually like the number. It's so easy.
373431.
You can get the original Veronica
Yes.
bucket. And it's not only in Ghana, it's in most of West Africa.
If you Google or you go online, you can see it being used in West Africa mainly.
Wow.
In schools and hospitals, restaurants, everywhere.
And it's here to stay.
It's here to stay.
When it's all said and done, when we hear the name Veronica Bekoe, what would you want us to remember you by?
Oh, that's from my little corner.
A very big and bright corner.
I have been able to help out with something like this, not only in Ghana, but it's gone outside helping others. And it was on Ghana Web that is being used all over. I don't know how far it has reached. So I thank God for that. This is what I want to be remembered by.
We thank God for you and the life of service that
And by the way, I didn't name it Veronica Bekoe. It was the lab advisor who came in to build the laboratory, the public health labs. Because I came out with the idea, she was the one who named it Veronica Bekoe.
Well, we're happy she did, because it's important that we're able to trace it back to the person who made this possible. And you've saved millions of lives just by thinking of a solution to a problem that people were battling with. So in this coronavirus space where people are paranoid and scared, it's nice to see a light at the end of the tunnel. And I hope that millions of people who are watching us will be inspired that sometimes it just takes paying attention to the problem and finding locally grown solutions to it to save people. So thank you.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
Thank you at home for joining us for the personality profile. It's really important that as we're dealing with this coronavirus, all the potential inventors and innovators out there are empowered to not just look at the problems we'll be facing, but think of innovative, simple solutions to them that are locally relevant. We're talking to Veronica Bekoe. She's the designer and creator of the Veronica buckets. Now, you've been seeing them all over, but if you want the original Veronica bucket, I'm going to mention the numbers again. 024, and we're looking at 437-3431. 024-437-3421. So call 31. I almost got it. 024-437-3431. The pictures are right there, so you can call them if you are a wholesaler and you would want to supply them. This is the time actually for corporate Ghana to come out and supply every single household in our low-income communities with these buckets, because there are people watching us who may not be able to afford the Veronica buckets, right? They're affordable actually.
Yes,
What's the price?
For this, the bucket and the bowl is 100 cedis.
Okay.
With the stand is 300.
Okay, so you can get everything.
Stand, yes.
Corporate Ghana, if you're watching us, this is a call to you to sponsor a household with one of these buckets so that we can all fight coronavirus together. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Yeah, fantastic interview there, and a fantastic person she is, Mrs. Veronica Bekoe, the designer of the Veronica buckets. Like you said earlier on how that so many people are coming up with different solutions for different things, and I think it's fascinating that this era has brought out a lot of different inventions, to solve problems. And I think that one of the ones that caught my eye recently was the sanitizers, the outdoor sanitizer stands in Takrady. I was fascinated by that. I was like, that was such a brilliant idea, because now you can literally find them, dotted along the streets, which means that you can sanitize, every few couple of 100 meters, you have sanitizer available to use. I think it's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, and then there's a young man also creating a solar tap system where, you can just do this and the water will come out. And for me, I think with all the problems of coronavirus, this is the first time in the history of our independence that we don't have influx of import goods, because historically a lot of local inventors, a lot of local innovators have struggled to break through the Ghanaian market, because you can't compete with foreign businesses who can afford to break even 10, 20 years after they enter the market. They have a marketing budget that can just destroy your entire starting capital. So for the first time ever, we've created a safe space for Ghanaian inventors and innovators to begin to think that I can create this product and people will use them. Like her product is so simple, right? This was during the cholera era decades ago. Why don't you create a way, because lab scientists are struggling, they're infecting themselves because they wash their hands in a water in a bowl, which you shouldn't be doing, right? So since our interview with her a couple of weeks ago, so many young Ghanaians are doing remarkable things. And I think beyond this season, government should look into perhaps investing in their work, right? Any IP shouldn't just randomly select entrepreneurs and give them checks and celebrate, but look at people who are critically solving problems that have deterred our development as a nation, and say, hand sanitizers, how do we ensure that all these things are available across the country, not just in Takoradi?
Everywhere.
Corporate Ghana can come in and say, we're going to brand your sanitizers as a way of promoting ourselves, so that we provide free hand sanitizers to people. The taps, you go into schools, children don't have clean running water to wash their hands. So there are so many amazing inventions and innovations coming out of this that, me personally, I think the best thing we've done with this corona thing is shutting down all our borders and giving local innovators, local inventors space to breathe. To say, I can create this product and people will actually buy them and use them.
No, I 100% agree with you. I think that it's one of the things that I'm even thinking, that it would be good for us to do. Maybe even a few months after the lockdown is lifted, keep the borders closed, for a while, because really we need to focus on production, internal production, our own production. When you're talking about the hand washing thing, I was just thinking how traditionally we've always when you're going to eat fufu, what do you do? There's a bowl of water that is brought, right? And then you put your hand in the water. So think about it. If there's any infection on your hands, right, you're putting in the water, you're washing the infection into the water and still fetching the water. And so it stays with you. So instead of having clean hands before you dip your hand into the fufu, or the soup, you're washing your hands are still infected and dirty, and you're going to eat. But you think because water has passed on your hands are clean. This guy with the solar standalone, is it drum or barrel? Invention that he's created. It's a brilliant idea, because even for communities that don't have flowing water through taps, right? This is one unit. You bring it in there. It's the size of a regular drum. All you have to do is to fill the drum with water, and the water will run through a tap, controlled by solar power, which is everywhere. Solar power is everywhere. So there's no connectivity to electricity or anything like that. It's a brilliant idea, And then, of course, I interviewed Professor Fred McBagonluri. They invent ventilators.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Then you can actually make a ventilator for 1,000 cedis. It's mind blowing.
And it's proof that the issue is not that we don't have what it takes to create what we need. The issue is not that our entrepreneurs, our innovators, our inventors are not just as good as anyone else. It's because we've not given them the safe space to flourish. Because historically, we've been distracted. Somebody will come in, try to convince the government with millions of dollars to just flood our markets with things that these inventors can compete against. You know, so for me, I think after this season, we are now producing our own mask.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we should go back
Yeah.
to importing.
We
Whatever
shouldn't.
it is that we are currently able to do.
Yeah.
We should sustain that and say, we don't care who our donors may be, we want these businesses to thrive. Nobody could have thought of Veronica Bekoe outside Africa because they can't even put it in their reality.
Yeah.
The solar drum, they don't need it because they don't have that kind of problem. But if you provide a safe space for creativity, for innovation, for research to thrive, then you are actually developing your country. We can't continue paying lip service to, we are suffering from negative balances of trade, we are import dependent. Every single government will come into power and tell us the problems we already know we have from Nkrumah's days.
Yeah.
And the reason we've not been able to become economically sustainable is because our local entrepreneurs have not been empowered enough. So for me, it's refreshing when I see all the supermarkets with Veronica buckets, when I see the Ghana Standards Authority actually, you know, got on it, standardized the young man's products. Now everyone can have access to it. I would love to see some corporate body come in the next time we hear from the Information Ministry to say we are supplying 100,000 of these to deprived communities. So we begin to own our development. We take ownership of our development, and we're not just passively waiting for someone to come save us from the state we are in. So I'm happy.
So the other aspect of what you're talking about is looking at, okay, so there's a side where we're sitting there waiting for somebody else to come and save us, right? But then there's the other side where there are people who are in the system, but they are looking to take advantage of the rest of us to profit themselves. Which is, I think the term for it is procurement economy, where everything is about procuring, because once you do that, you can always massage the figures and make a little bit on the side for yourself. And let me just say a little bit advisedly, because we all know that it's not just a little bit. People make a killing. So I think it's important for us to have our own people producing, producing and making sure that we as a nation can now start selling some of our own productions to the outside world and make good money ourselves.
I completely agree. And speaking of local creativity, we had Sedi Ajayi and Ecole Sachs join us a couple of weeks ago. We'll be enjoying them, but they will go for a quick break and then continue the show.
The Honorable Jesse Boyne Edu, Chief Executive Ghana Cocoa Board, Ghana Cocoa from Mr. Montiemi, Yarea Bayno, a area no corner edney, a year coronavirus, Nas influenza in Yini, Asisia, Yenshede, no, ano, Abano, Neo Penny bomb, modern Biasrebea, Ibisiano, Nanifa, Cassias Bigla, and so. Niema bi won ma kokwakufo ese mo hye ne so se mo bokwafu mu a na mbedi no bo a ebesere mo kuduru ho a mo hwe se ntem betete kakra amaye mo didi a mo ma ntemu ntete ma mo men afi nso no nchia e ya di bi a tumi de yare no etache nti ma mo nchia ma mo mfimfa a wono mo ye adwuma no wo ho no kokare kokko nyina ma ntem ntete kakra kwakachifo ni ade no ubeduru fie antempa no ahoro nsa nza ahoro ni ade hia pa bobo wa mongu bi so omoduna se bepibibi akata wo hene sanso na wanti nso a ese no nso no bomoduna se wodi bibi be kata wo hene afi nso no so wo na nso ho dodo ebi a wapoma ye mre asiri wonya fever obowa wo ta wanti wo kon no hwe se basa de na che se bibi koso wo widi no ma se o ma a doctor for asonte ndi me mamo number si o mo nhye no so 112 ne tosumi no 055843986 ne tosumi ensa 05094977700 kukwakufo mo hu hia pa nti no yesrem munya hwie maye mo mo ban maye na yenyina yenye ahwie enkunti asa yarewi endomasi.
There is no promise we cannot keep. There is no commitment we cannot honor. There is no delivery we cannot guarantee. There is only one Bethel Logistics Company Limited, a licensed international freight forwarding and clearing agent, a trusted global brand with an extensive network for the movement of air freight and ocean freight worldwide. We are the trusted name for road freight into Western and Northern Africa. We are fully accredited by Ghana Customs and Excise. We cater for all your freight forwarding, customs clearing and forwarding, cross trades, inland transportation, internal cargo tracking systems, customer freight costing and consultancy, cold chain logistics management, logistics and warehousing, quality inspection, and much more. In Accra, Tema, and Takrady, we are always available to ensure easy movement of cargo countrywide. Call us on 0204 528 900 or 0244 707 859. Email info@bethellogistics.com. Locate us in Accra at North Ridge, adjacent Accra Girls High School, or in Tema at Community 4, or in Takrady on the second floor of the GCB building. Website bethellogistics.com. Bethelog, experts in shipping logistics.
There is nothing as hard as a diamond. For buildings with superior strength that withstand all weather conditions, Diamond Cement should be your preferred choice. Locate Diamond Cement nationwide with factories in Aflao, Takrady, and Bupe. Diamond Cement, as hard as a diamond.
All right, welcome back. It's time for us to talk relationship, and we're going to be talking to Mrs. Marie Rose Saki in just a second. But you sent some messages to us, and I want to quickly read a couple of your messages. And this one says, "Hi, City TV. I, a police officer, wants to draw your attention that there are inmates at the fishing and main harbor police station that do not benefit from the from the food relief packages. It has also become difficult for them to get food because of the lockdown." Okay, so the authorities who are watching, kindly take note of that. Okay, so another one says, "Are you thinking of us who are in the house with no job, money, or food? You said the government should extend the lockdown." All right, just let me do one more before we speak with our guest. President Akufo-Addo is really the messiah of our time in the coronavirus pandemic era. In fact, the sharing of food, free water for 3 months and 50% of electricity bills are a clear indication that President Akufo-Addo really cares for Ghanaians. We should stay at home and prevent the spread of coronavirus. This is Yao Osan Kide from Taifa, Burkina. All right. Please keep your messages coming as we're going to talk relationships right now. Remember, the hashtag is Breakfast Daily, and the WhatsApp line is 0550-585-832. If you happen to be outside Ghana, kindly prefix that with +233, our country code. All right, so good morning, Mrs. Saki. How are you doing?
Good morning, David. I'm doing very well. How are you too?
Mrs. Saki, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hi, good morning. And yes, how have you been? How have you been?
I'm doing very well. I'm doing yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you. So we're going to be talking this morning about avoiding relationship killers during this pandemic era. Help us to understand, in terms of human dynamics, why this season is particularly more precarious for relationships to be killed, as it were.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, we are in uncertain times, and anything can happen. There's good, there's bad. Yes, and we have the gray area. But we always have to think about all areas and try and see how we can mitigate it. So in these times, and with the pandemic that we have been quarantined, we've been quarantined, it's all over the world. Most places are not moving around. And in Ghana, it's also happening to us. There's that tendency that people might have issues. As much as it's a good time for us to bond as in terms of relationship, as a family, as a couple, as people who are in relationship hoping to marry, it's a good time for us to, build our relationship well, because we have a lot of time on our hands. But at the same time, if this time is not managed well, then we could kill our relationship.
Okay. Yeah. So let's break it down a little bit. Now, we want to make sure that at the end of the lockdown and at the end of the COVID-19 era that we find ourselves in, first of all, we don't get relationships breaking up. We don't have marriages ending in divorce because of stress in the relationship and so on and so forth. But let's take the different aspects of relationships. Let's look at courting and dating. Those who don't necessarily live together, but they are in a relationship. How do we make sure that this particular relationship scenario that ends well?
Thank you. When we look at the courtship, when people are in a relationship, they are courting, hoping to marry in the future. In this time, you cannot move around. If you have to move around, you need a pass to go around. And so the things that you usually do, you can only work through internet or technology or on the phone. So you don't get to see the other party and all that. This is a time that if you don't take care, you can easily get stressed out or get anxious, because you are not able to go to the other party to see what's happening or what the person is doing. Everything is by just what you hear. And you have to. So for you to be able to ensure that your anxiety doesn't make you become too stressed out, and for you not to go overboard and start being a complainer.
Yeah.
You know, and picking on everything that, oh, why are you not doing this? So I called you this time, you didn't pick it. Where were you? You know, what have you been doing? Trying to see what you know that you cannot see because you are not able to go to the person. Unlike if we were not in this state, you could just call at any time and go to the person's house, see what's doing. You can have a date, go out, go watch movies, go, you know, do something else together. Now you can't do all these things. And the whole relationship boils down on just communicating through talking. The communication is not even body communication or body language or anything like that. The communication is basically talking, oral. So it might become a little difficult because there's some people, they are not even used to staying at home for that long. Yeah. You know, even when you're on leave or something, like if you're working and you come on leave, you have that freedom. Freedom is what we don't have right now. Yeah. You have that freedom to go out at any time and do what you want. But now you don't have that freedom. Okay. You are limited. Yeah. So that is where you can build up stress, and then there'll be complaints and all that. And then if there's too much complaint and you don't seek to understand the other party or yourselves, then you can get into anger, which might, you know, end up, if you don't take care, by the end of the pandemic, you would just say, you know what, forget it. I've learned how to stay on my own. I've been doing things on my own for this while, and I've become independent. So I don't think, you know, it can trigger certain things. They are triggers. So those are for those who are in courtship. You know, frustration of not being able to meet physically. Yes, can stifle the relationship. Okay. But those who are living together, like married couple or whatever, they have that opportunity to be together. Yeah. But you know, sometimes too, when somebody is all over you, it can be annoying sometimes. So let's segue and look at those who are married. Two different scenarios here. The one where they are married but they are both on lockdown in terms of the you know, there are people who are exempt, but in this case, there's a married couple, none of them are exempt, so they're both in the house 24/7. And right now we're edging towards the end of our third week of lockdown. What are some of the things that we can possibly imagine happening in their homes right now? And then let's look at the other scenario where one is going and coming, the other one is staying put. So let's start with the first one. Yes. So when we look at those who are home and they don't have the opportunity to go out to go and work, both of them are locked down 24/7. They are, you know, can really trigger difficulty up and down in that small space of your house. It's not like you've gone out and come, you've met other people, you are refreshed. This is a person who you are seeing all the time, and you could get angry because there are habits that when the person goes to work, you don't really see. Now the person is always at home, and you are seeing him more. Maybe when the person eats, he will not wash or she will not wash a plate. How they eat, crumbles all over the place, things messed up. You know, little things that could annoy you. Being on the phone with other people and all that. Things that now you are sitting there, you are hearing your partner talk to other people, and you may hear what they are saying and all that. And if you don't take care, your mind will just be trying to understand what they're talking about, trying to link, you know, make links to whatever that you don't know, especially when you are not privy to whoever that your partner is talking to. Your partner is not enough to tell you that, oh, this is my friend that maybe you might know, or this is this person at the end of the it can set some kind of anxiety in you and make you wonder, so who is he talking to, or who is she talking to, and what is it about, what is the end, especially if you find the other person laughing so much and all that. Those are annoying, you know, and how you handle yourself. Maybe the person is at home now, is not bathing the whole day, and you have to talk and all that. Those can bring annoyance.
Yeah.
Annoyance can develop into anger, which might not bring a lot of conflict later on. The other thing I would also talk about is the space, your space.
Okay.
You are 24 hours in the same small, maybe your bedroom, your living room. If you have another room, fine. Let's say there are no children. If there are no children, it's the two of you.
Yeah.
And you want to hook onto your partner in everything. We should watch the same movie. Listen, it can be. When you encroach too much on the space of the other, it can make the relationship a bit stressful, you know. Your own space. Like I always say that no matter how your relationship is, or if you're married, that doesn't mean that you don't have any space for yourself. There's a for everybody to have his or her own space so that from time to time you can rejuvenate yourselves. So when you are all over the person, let's watch TV together, let's eat together, let's bath together, let's do everything together. Sometimes it can really get into your head and you get tired of the person. So we should learn to balance out our space.
Okay.
If one is watching a TV and it's not a common interest, it's not by force that the two of you should watch. You can also listen to your music, get your book and read, do something, you know, and then plan, be intentional about how you're going to spend your time. So maybe we would have our own time to do the things that we're doing and then come together maybe at a certain time to have lunch or to have dinner or to watch a certain particular program on TV or listen to news together. Okay. I think it helps, you know, bring out, because already being at home and not going out, it's too much trouble. You know, it's like you are caged. Yeah. So when you are caged and then you have a security man standing behind the cage gate, it's the other partner becomes like, it's like somebody watching you, you know. It becomes very difficult. Like that. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So before you treat the other aspect of people, one person going out and coming in and the other one staying at home, we have some questions from our viewers, and just a reminder to all those who are watching that you can send us your questions. The hashtag is Breakfast Daily and the WhatsApp line is 0550-585-832. The country code is +233 for those who are sending messages from outside Ghana. The question here is, this is from Chirewa. She says, my husband is always on the phone. He usually does it, but it's become more annoying during this lockdown. When I complain, he gets defensive. What should I do?
Yes. Hello.
Hi, I'm here. I'm listening to you.
Yeah. It's quite a difficult thing because you can't stop him from being on the phone. Yeah. But maybe he's at home, he's not working. You know, there's some people, they are locked down at home, but they are working from home. Okay. So that if he's on the phone because of work, understandable. But if he's on the phone talking to friends, I think you have to find a good time, and when he's calmed down, negotiate with him, talk to him. Okay. Let him understand that you don't have to complain. Well, you're on the phone too much. Oh, why are you talking so much on the phone? You're not giving attention. That will not work. That one, it becomes like bickering. You are bickering him. Yeah. But then find appropriate time. Maybe when you are relaxing in bed or something, and said, because of what is happening now, we're here alone and we have to try and use our time well and all that. But sometimes I think you spend too much time on the phone. It's not that I don't want you to be on the phone, but I think sometimes you can limit, because I'm here and I feel neglected, when I see you all the time on the phone and not talking to me. And I think that you have to reason it out with your partner for him to understand how you feel, rather than just trying to stop him. Stop. Why? There must be some kind of, so you have to try and be very, very, go out of your way and or be extra nice when it comes to things like that. You have to try and understand his situation, where you are coming from, and meet you at the point of your need. But if you are just going to badger and bicker and just try to be controlling, I don't think that will work. Okay, I have one more for you. My husband won't bath. Brushing his teeth is a problem, but he expects us to have lockdown sex. It's such a turn off. Well. It's quite interesting when it comes to those things. But there's some people, they don't like bathing. I don't know whether she knew that aspect of him before they married, or it's a new thing she's realizing.
Experiencing.
Yeah, there's some people, they don't like bathing. You have to budget them before they go and bath. I know for a fact, because I've heard from some of my counselees, that some people like to have sex when they are dirty, when they haven't bathed. You know, I remember, so it's really difficult for me to say that, oh, he has to bath before. It all depends on how your partner keeps himself.
Yeah.
If your partner keeps himself well, then I don't think that should be a big problem.
Okay.
But the brushing of teeth, as for that one, he has to dental hygiene.
All right. Okay, good.
Of great essence in these times. And apart from that, even because of the COVID and all that, we need to bath often.
Yeah.
Not just even once. We have to try and bath often because of all the things we've heard about COVID.
Yeah.
So given this situation, I would say that maybe she should also try and reason out with the husband for him to bath. But he thinks that he's been at home, he hasn't gone anywhere, maybe he's even sweating and all that.
Yeah.
And he doesn't see the need
to do that,
So if it means that maybe you have to, clean a few necessary places, and it can be done, and you have your fun. Yeah.
Okay, so there's still more messages coming. Please, I'm in a relationship. With a girl who lives with her family, and her family don't want, and she said her family don't know that she's dating me, but my plan is to marry her soon. But during the lockdown, we only talk when she tries to go and buy something. What can I do?
Yes, I know that people are even contracting relationship as we are on lockdown. People are tying knots, yes, as we are on lockdown, because some people tie knots on phone and all that. They've been pursuing each other, they've been seeing each other for quite some time, and now that they have a lot of time, they've had that opportunity to think over and take a decision and say, now yes, so after COVID, this is what we are doing. So I think they have to discuss, why is it that the lady hasn't told her parents? Is it that they are not her family or whatever? Is it that they are not interested in the guy, or she thinks she would have a problem when she tells them, or the family has a certain expectation of her? That has to be addressed. If there's no impediment, if there's no blockage, or there's no other expectation from them, then I think that she should be able to let the family have a wind of the fact that she has somebody in the pipeline. And at proper time, she will bring the person to meet them.
All right.
So, but I don't think it should be too bad for her to sit at home and talk to him. I don't know what they talk about though. But if she's with her family, she must have her room. She doesn't have to go out when she's going to buy something to talk. So she will be able to talk to him.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mrs. Saki. We've been speaking to Mrs. Marie Rose Saki, who is a counselor and an entrepreneur, and she's been helping us to understand what to do to avoid relationship killers, so that at the end of this COVID-19 period and all the lockdown and everything else, we can still have our relationships intact. All right, so we'll be back with the next segment. We're going to be looking at some outfits, fashionable outfits during, to keep yourself safe and well protected during this season. We'll be back after this break. Don't go anywhere.
It's here, the Express Pay app. More social, more power, more services. Experience a cooler way of payments with exciting new features. Want to go social? Upload a cool image to add a personal feel to your account. Payments are even more seamless with an enhanced process. Mark some accounts as favorites so they are super easy to access. Even cooler, view payment due dates and check remaining balances for your favorite accounts. Want to repeat a payment? Do that right from the History tab. Have all your money in one place with a sleek look and feel. Bank Direct has had an awesome makeover. You can now send money instantly to 22 banks and counting. Express Pay. Payment simplified.
Ghana is a beautiful country. There is so much of it you probably haven't seen, haven't experienced, haven't touched, haven't felt, haven't eaten. When this is all over, let's discover our land again with new eyes. Let's feel each other again. We are one people, brought together by destiny. Let's make that count. Let's show love for each other and our environment. Let's tell our stories, and let's watch and listen to our stories. There will be so much to tell. Ghana is a truly beautiful country. Be Ghana, stay in Ghana, experience Ghana, make Ghana great. And we will invite the world to come and experience Ghana too. But for now, stay home. Brought to you by the National Film Authority. Support the Stay Home and Discover Ghana Later campaign. This channel supports the campaign.
God bless our homeland,
Imagine if you can get all the understanding on some of the difficult subjects you struggle with in school. As a student, do you feel dissatisfied with how hard it is to figure out the subjects you're learning? Or as a parent or guardian, do you worry that your child is struggling to understand some of the subjects in school? Well, now you don't need to sign up for extra lessons or tutors. Simply tune in to Class Act, Mondays to Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. on City TV. Class Act is a show that seeks to enable senior high school students gain a much better understanding of what they learn in school. All you need is a TV, a chair, your notebook, and your pen. Get clarity on subjects such as maths, English, IT, and science. Class Act airs every Monday to Thursday at 5:30 p.m. on City TV on DSTV channel 363 and GoTV channel 182. Don't forget your pens, pencils, and your notebooks and tune in to Class Act, only on City TV.
There are those with untold stories, unraveled feats, life-changing stories, and lasting legacies. They tell their stories themselves right here on Footprints.
So we go to someone who will put in our various cells, and then someone you have it's a huge prison. And then it was then that it dawned on me that I was really in big trouble.
Do you think that the overthrow of Liman was justified?
I think that with hindsight, there was no justification.
Be inspired by their hard work and resilience that led to those outstanding achievements as we trace their footsteps through the capsule of time.
Because of my upbringing, my mother, my father, they are, Christianity.
Yeah.
So because of that,
strong hands at home.
Even though I'm the guy smoking, doing all kinds of that, I've never tried.
You've never tried?
No, never tried weed or anything. Nothing.
You've never tried weed?
Even drinking, alcohol, no.
Why should you people put everything, everything was done before Nkrumah arrived in the country.
No, aho ni leba ye.
Aho never ye.
So join me, Samuel Atamensa, and my guests every Saturday at 9 a.m. and Sundays at 4 p.m. only on City TV.
Footprint is sponsored by Bethel Logistics Company Limited, experts in shipping logistics.
Welcome back. It's Breakfast Daily on City TV. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, we're going to take a look at a woman who's spicing up the uniform industry. You know, whether you're a chef, you're a nurse, you're a doctor, you're a construction worker, it could get boring wearing the same thing every single day. And her innovation is spicing those uniforms up a bit so that they capture our uniqueness, really, and our creativity. So I've been joined by Dr. Mrs. Linda Ando. She is the Executive Director of Rolling Apparels. And throughout our conversation with her, if you have any questions for her, let us know with the hashtag Breakfast Daily and the WhatsApp line 0550585832. If you're outside Ghana, the country code is +233. We also have some models who'll be showcasing some of her work as we talk to her. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning, Jiva.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you too?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining us. How's the lockdown treating you?
Well, we are busy working, so.
Good. Can you tell us a bit about your company, what inspired you to start it?
Okay, so Rolling Apparel is a uniform manufacturing firm that specializes in the production of safety clothing, workwear, and supply of personal protective equipment.
Why did you decide to get into this industry?
Right. So it all started during my first year in medical school. I'm a practicing medical doctor as well. So during my first year in medical school, we had to get white coats for our practical sessions. And we had to wait for like 4 weeks to get the white coats.
Wow.
And to our surprise, yes. And to our surprise, the white coats we got were ill-fitting, poor style. The fabrics were not the best. And so I was like, okay, let me get one for myself, as in get one from the local market. I checked a couple of pharmacy shops as well as the malls, and to my surprise, there were no white coats to purchase locally. So I decided to check online. At the time, social media platforms like Facebook weren't a marketplace like they are now. So I had to check on Tonaton and OLX. And yes, I didn't get white coat there either. So I had to buy from Amazon, have it shipped to my cousin in the US for him to ship it down to Ghana.
Wow.
So I was like, why do I have to go through all of that stress just to get a white coat? So that was when the idea originated from, and then Rolling started.
How did some of your colleagues react to their new and improved uniforms?
Yes, so when I started Rolling, I had to use my tailor at the time to make a sample for me, and it came out really great. So I wore it in school, and people really liked it and asked where I got it from, but I didn't want them to know that as in it was made for me. So later, everyone wanted it, and they started making orders. So I didn't make them know that I sort of own Rolling. So I got lots of orders for my schoolmates.
Wow.
And yes. And
did you have a fashion background? I mean, you're a medical doctor. How did you go about designing the uniforms and making sure they were right fit?
Yeah, I get this question all the time. No, I hated fashion way back in junior high school. I didn't like vocational skills because I'm a purely science, mainly science. So when I had the interest to start Rolling, I had to develop that interest. So it was mainly on research. I spent time to go online to even take lessons on sewing and the fashion industry online. So mainly on even the construction of the apparels, because I have to do the quality checks. So if I don't have, in-depth knowledge on how the garment should be sewn, I wouldn't be able to correct my staff if they shouldn't. They should not do the right thing. So it's mainly learning online and research.
What are some of the feedback you got from your colleague health professionals on their uniforms? How did it make them feel as far as their confidence and the like?
Okay, so we get lots of good reviews from doctors. They love the style one. They like the fabric, and as well as our packaging. And I must say, my colleagues have been very, very supportive. And yes, they've been very, very supportive. They all try to support Rolling and buy from us. So.
Okay, and now you don't only make dresses or uniforms for health professionals. Can you walk us through the other industries as well that you service? Okay,
so we serve almost every industry, almost every industry. Like I said initially, we are into uniform production. So every firm, we can serve every firm, from oil and gas, mining, hospitality, every industry. So some of our products include the coveralls, the bib overalls, the jackets and pants. That's mainly for the mining and oil and gas industry. We have the aprons, the chef uniform. We have the branded polo shirts, the branded T-shirts. Yeah, a lot of other products, as well as the supply of the PPE. So the helmets, the safety boots, the gloves, the face masks, the disposable coveralls, etc.
Okay. Now, for the medical field, I understand how relatively easy it will be for you to market to the people there because it's your space. How are you able to get into these other spaces, the construction space, the cooking space? How are you able to market to those people?
Okay. So with that, when I started Rolling, the initial thing was mainly to supply to the hospitals, the medical schools, and tertiary institutions. But I realized that if we should go with that, we'd have to supply on annual basis, because most of these firms make orders on annual basis. So I thought we should be able to serve people on a daily basis. So we decided to have an e-commerce website that people could go online to buy. So that was when I had the idea that, okay, then let's add other products, because the purpose is to produce safety clothing, and it's not only the medical fields that need safety clothing. So with the engineering fields, you would also need the coveralls, the bib overalls, the jackets and pants. So we decided to add those products as well.
Okay, so we have some of our models wearing your beautiful pieces, so we'll be showcasing them shortly so our viewers can appreciate them. And of course, if you guys have any questions, let us know with the hashtag Breakfast Daily, and the WhatsApp line is 0550-585-832. If you're outside Ghana, the country code is +233. My next question for you will have to do with coronavirus. How has it impacted your business?
Yeah. So with that, I didn't think it was. I thought we were all going to have those lockdown thing and business would halt and all of that. But when the government announced that they had to engage the local suppliers to help with the supply of the PPE, that was when Rolling was fortunate to be part of it. So we had to get back to business and continue with our production. So I would say that with COVID-19, there's been increase in sales markedly.
Okay, what other product line would you be looking at post-COVID?
So currently we have to produce face masks, and was something I never thought of, that we producing face masks locally. So now with COVID-19, there's the idea to continue with the production of face masks. So I think that would be a new product that would be added onto our line of products post COVID-19.
Okay, and do you also wholesale or primarily retail?
Yes, so we do wholesale and retailing. So, but the retailing is mainly from our website, the e-commerce website, www.rollingapparel.com. And with the wholesale, we have people buying from us and retailing. And then outside Ghana, we have people buying from us. So we do export to neighboring African countries, and yeah.
How has the demand been for you, especially during this season, and how have you been able to keep up with it?
What did you say?
Yes, I'm asking you about the demand. So you don't only supply Ghana, but you supply other parts of the world. So how have you been able to meet demand? A lot of startups talk about their struggle to meet demand once so many people are ordering from all over the place. So how have you been able to sustain that?
So we have to increase our staff strength. So currently we have about 50 production staff. So we'll be able to produce and meet the demands from our clients. Yeah, mainly that by increasing our staff strength.
Okay, and what's next for you, the next 3 to 5 years? Where do you see the brand going?
Well, so with rolling, during this COVID-19, that initially we do sell face masks, and mainly we have to import from either Europe or China. And during this COVID-19, that we saw the need to locally produce these face masks. There are a lot of other PPEs that I believe that we can locally produce, like the disposable coveralls, the disposable gowns, the rain boots, the Wellington boots, and other safety boots, even the helmets. And I wish we could locally produce all of these in Ghana. So in the next 3 to 5 years, I see Rolling not only producing the garments, but as well as manufacturing these PPEs like the safety boots, the other disposable medical consumables locally.
Okay, now let's look at the value chain. How difficult is it to get the raw materials for the PPEs?
Okay, so with us, we procure our raw materials both locally and international. So sometimes we get them from Europe or China, or from our local markets, and it's quite simple. We research and know the fabric we want, and contact the firm, be it locally or out of the country. We contact them. We have it purchased and they are shipped to us. If it's locally, it's the same way. So it's quite easy procuring the raw materials.
Okay, so as it stands now, a lot of people are paying attention to the manufacturing space. We're encouraging people to manufacture locally. What more support do you think government can provide to manufacturers like yourself to scale up your business?
Yeah, so one challenge with, starting Rolling and still existing has been funding. It's not easy getting support in terms of funding from the government. So I wish SMEs could be supported in terms of making the terms and getting funds very flexible, and if possible, interest rates not being as high as they are currently. So mainly we need the government to support us with funds.
Okay, now back to you as an entrepreneur and a doctor. Are you still practicing medicine? And if you are, how do you balance the two hats?
Yes, I am.
How do you balance the two?
So it's tough, honestly. It's very, very tough. And my staff are well trained and they can really function without me being around. Okay. So yes, I leave them to do all the work. I do come around when I'm done with clinical work. I do come to the office, but it's not quite often. So yeah, if they need any help, they communicate with me via emails, phone calls. Yeah. So my staff, they are great people, and they can work without so much support from me.
How important is it to find the right staff? Because we interview a lot of entrepreneurs in the manufacturing space, and the biggest challenge they face are actually getting committed staff. So you get people, you work with them for a couple of years, and then they will leave. So how have you been able to deal with that challenge?
It's not been easy, to be very, very honest with you. I always tell people that, I mean, entrepreneurship in Ghana, I don't think it's about you getting people to procure your products. That if you produce them well, and I mean they're of good quality and meets the standards. But one challenge is with staffing, having the right employees. It's been difficult. It's been very difficult. But by God's grace, we've been able to get very, very, very loyal and committed staff currently. So yeah, I mean, it's mainly by God's grace. And also another way to really sustain your staff is motivation and incentive. So we try to motivate them, make sure they are well paid, and I mean, yeah, what we have to do to make them happy, because if they are not happy, trust me, you wouldn't get the best out of them. So we try to motivate them and do what we have to do to make them happy, and also pray that by God's grace they will stay with us and not leave us.
Okay, and we hope that they will as well. It seems like you've committed a lot to keeping them. Now, any advice for young girls who are in secondary school, university, they think that they're just going to be doctors, so they are limiting themselves to just science, about being open to other industries and perhaps finding a different skill that they may love just as much as they love medicine?
Yeah. So, people, anytime I meet people, I tell them I'm a medical doctor and an entrepreneur. They think that is not possible. I mean, it's impossible for you to be a doctor and still have time to do other things. It is very possible. It's all about how you manage your time. And I believe that, yes, it's good to follow your dreams, your passion and all of that. But if you have interest in other fields, I would entreat the younger ones who want to become medical doctors to try and explore other fields and not be limited to the fact that they want to be doctors and that'll be just it. And yes, because it's very doable. You can be a doctor and be any other thing you want to be. You just have to know how to manage your time very well and set your priorities right. And you could balance both with so much ease.
Okay, Linda, thank you so much. Now we're going to take a look at your products, and I want you to walk us through exactly what we're looking at. So we're crossing over to our models. I hope you can see them from where you are. Let's talk about the model whose face is to the camera. What are we looking at with this one?
I can't see the model at the moment.
Okay, so you can't see, but it looks like a navy type of uniform, navy blue uniform with a white coat. Pants? It's a scrub, yeah, with a lab coat.
Okay, if it's with a white coat, I can't see, but if it's with a white coat, I believe the person is wearing a scrub set and a white coat.
Yes,
so
please.
This is for the. Yeah, so this is for mainly hospital use.
Now there's one where at the bottom there's a zipper. What inspired that? It's really cute.
Okay, so but like I mentioned, the first white coat I received in medical school was very, very ill-fitting and boring. So I was like, I mean, wet clothes are not supposed to be boring. They should be fashionable and serve its purpose of providing safety. So like I said, I do a lot of research and I always like to look good. I'm a very fashionable person. So I thought of how can we make this still be a white coat but look different. So yeah, I was like, there are pockets. So we could have zip there and it would make it look nice. And when you have anything in your pockets, because of the zip, you know that hajj coat is secure. So that was the reason the pockets the zip was put there.
Okay, so Johnny from Kumasi wants to know the price range of your apparels.
Okay, so with the white coats, it's 75 cedis.
Okay.
And with the scrap sets, it's 95 cedis. And we have the Kubasa collection where there's African print applique, and that is 110 cedis.
Okay, and there's a picture, there's a comment here from Lillian. She says, I'm a doctor, and even though I want to do business on the side, I struggle. Please, what's the first step towards achieving this?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yes, so Lillian is a doctor like yourself. She wants to start a business, but she wants to know what were some of the initial steps you took to get to where you are, perhaps as far as time management is concerned, and all those other things.
Okay, so right from medical school, I don't have a lot of friends. I mean, a lot of people do know me and all of that, but I keep very, 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 very few friends. So I go for lectures as everyone would do in the morning, and after school, it's business. Usually in medical school, latest by 2 p.m., we are done with lectures or even clinical work. Mm-hmm. So between the hours of 2 to 5, then it's time for business. So even in medical school, I used to visit firms to send proposals to firms and try to secure contracts while I was in medical school. So between the hours of 2 to 5 p.m., that's when I go out to the companies, send proposals and all of that. Then after 5, that's when I'll have my nap and get sleep, rest, wake up around 9 p.m. and study for just about 3 hours and sleep and wake up at 6 a.m. and go back to school. So I try as much as possible to just, like I said, keep few friends and remain focused. I know I have school to deal with, I have business to deal with. So the little time I have to maximize that time. You wouldn't see me go visiting friends, chatting, sitting idle and not doing, nothing. Because the little time I have is either I have to use that to study, or I have to use that to think about rolling, think about drafting, proposal letters and all of that. So what I'll say is that try to keep few friends, and there should be friends who are real and supportive. And also, whatever you set your mind to do or to achieve, you try to remain focused, and everything would fall in place.
Okay, what role has social media played in your ability to reach more customers?
Yeah, so with when we decided to start selling to individuals, like I mentioned, when Rolling started was mainly to firms, to companies. So when we decided to sell to individuals, we had to leverage on social media, and we used platforms like Instagram and Facebook, and of course our website. And I can say that it's been very helpful reaching individuals because of the nature of our job. Most of the firms we supply, you wouldn't find them on social media. You wouldn't find them on Facebook. So with that, we have to do direct sales. We have to do office visits. So we have a team of sales and marketing personnel who visits the firms, take the proposals, and solicits for us to secure contracts there. But with individuals, we have to reach them via social media. And it's been helpful reaching individuals via social media.
So how did you also prepare for the business side? So it's one thing to be a manufacturer and to want to make, apparel for your colleagues, and another thing to also think from a business angle. How are you able to deal with that?
I don't really get your question because I think it's the same thing. Manufacturing is even, more difficult than, retailing and using.
Yes, so we interview some entrepreneurs, and their biggest struggle is actually sales and marketing, right? Because they love producing the things, but they struggle to actually sell it to the customer. So what were some of your experience?
Okay, so with our projects, they are essential products. COVID-19 has taught all of us that PPEs are essential. So they are essential products. So we didn't have to put in so much effort to get people buying, because every doctor needs a white coat. Every doctor needs a scrap set. Every doctor needs a stethoscope. Every doctor needs a theater shoes. So they seen rolling on social media, they were happy because it's been a struggle for everyone to get a white coat, to get a scrap set. And now you can just go on Instagram, go to Rolling Apparel, and you can order for a white coat or visit our website and order. So it was very easy getting our clients. Similarly with the companies, every staff, depending on the field, every staff needs PPE, especially with the mining, oil and gas industry. Every staff has to be in the appropriate PPE, the coveralls, the helmet, the safety boots. So if we approach them and our products are of good quality, it's so easy selling to them. So it's not been challenging because our products are essential products and they are needed by our target market.
Excellent. I'm glad you didn't have that much of an issue. There's a question here from Richard. He wants to know how many employees you currently have, both full-time and part-time.
Okay, so for full-time, currently we are about 50.
Okay.
And part-time, it depends. When we have a very big contract, we need to call for help. So we put the ad out there, their handles, to get more machine operators to come and help. But full-time, we are about 50.
Thank you so much, Linda. Please remind us again where we can find you on social media and your website.
So Instagram handle is Rolling Apparel, same with Facebook, and with our website is www.rollingapparel.com.
Thank you very much, Linda Ando, for speaking to us. And there you have it, Rolling Apparels. They are doing the best that they can to spice up the uniforms that we wear on a regular, right? We don't have to import these things into the country. We can actually buy them locally. She's going to employ more people, create jobs, and of course, keep our health professionals and other chefs, mining workers looking good while they do the best they can to serve us. Don't go anywhere. Breakfast Daily will be right back.
City TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access City TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV on your television. City TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and StarTimes box. City TV, it's your world.
That was a fantastic interview there. Jifa, I enjoyed that. Yeah, I think Roland is doing amazing, and we have so many such wonderful stories out there. And but it's been a good show. Thank you for staying with us. My name is David Kukusechi.
And I am Jifa Eke Ametam. Don't forget that all news related to coronavirus you can find at citynewsroom.com/coronavirus.
And we're going to leave you with some good music from Marvin Brooks.
Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Goodbye.
Sometimes we forget to thank Jah for another day. Sometimes we forget to thank Jah for another day. Sorry if I misbehave. Lately been going straight. Seeing my life is great. Finally feel like home, the place that we all belong. Diaspora was too long. Yes, sometimes we forget to thank Jah for another day. Yes, sometimes we forget to thank Jah for another day. Life is the shortest, counting the losses while we losing the consciousness. They watch, losing desire, losing the fire. Not too many inspired.
Hello, my name is Martha